we have the season finale of Grey's Anatomy coming up, airing Thursday night. And I'm on the edge of my seat. You got to tell us, even, I don't know if you can, but are you going to get married? Is your character going to walk down the aisle? We got to know.
Well, she'll certainly walk down the aisle. What happens after that, all I can say is that Magston fans will be happy with what happens in the end. Okay, and that is all I'm going to say about that.
Leaving me on the edge of my seat like you always do. Okay, but what else can you tease from the season finale? Because not only will we have a wedding, who knows what's going to happen, like you just said, but there's a lot of other stories going around. So what can you tell us?
Well, I'm really most excited. This baby Luna. She has really taken up a space in my heart, and I'm really excited to see what happens to her and to see Joe. I honestly, in the last episode that aired, I forgot what happened, and I was like, oh my God, yes! Joe got Luna, and I even tweeted about it, and I was totally wrong. And I think somebody wrote back like, oh, that tweet didn't age well. And I was like, yeah, I completely forgot. So I'm really, really excited to see how we resolve that storyline and what happens to that sweet baby and Joe, whose heart has just been so invested in her all season long. So we'll find out more about that in the episode. Meredith finally comes back to work, with this new purpose, with this new assignment from Bailey. And so it'll be great to see her in Scrubs again. I just, we've really missed that part of Meredith, as wonderful as it has been to see her on the beach reuniting with all of these, beloved characters from seasons past. Can't wait to see her back roaming the halls of Grace Sloan again. So I think those are two of the storylines that I'm really excited about. And of course, I think it's all good stuff. Like, look, yes, like you said, there's a lot of story to wrap up. So it is absolutely not to be missed for any of the characters that you love the most.
I will say though, you guys put viewers like myself on this emotional roller coaster. I mean, you do every season, but really this season in particular, did you feel the same way, episode to episode?
I did. Look, I think that what I'm really proud of, and I think that the show did so well, was to really sort of embrace the circumstances of the world. I think the show has always been maybe not a direct mirror to people's experiences, but I think that's why people love it, and this year we really, took that leap and we put our doctors in sort of the exact same world, the exact same circumstances that real life doctors right now are going through. And by doing that, we peel back the layers of so many of the things that were revealed by COVID, so many of the dysfunctions of the society that we live in. And so, we saw a lot of tough stuff in the world this season, and we saw that on the show too, and it was emotional. It was really wild, but at the same time, I think we also did a really great job of keeping it Grey's and keeping it sexy and romantic and funny, and even in spite of that, which is what life is, it's all of those things all at once. So, but yeah, girl, I was like, dang, can I get a break? Everybody's going through something. Here go Teddy, just having a breakdown. Didn't see that coming. It was a lot. It was a lot this season.
It was a lot. And we also did lose a few regular cast members this season as well. I mean, was that hard for you as a viewer? I know I'm still shocked about Jesse in particular, but what was that for you like?
The reasonable side of me says, everybody moves on, and they gave so much, Jesse and Giacomo and Greg, they gave so much to the show while they were on it, and that's good for them. I'm so excited for what's in store, but of course I'm so sad to lose them. They're part of might feel like there's a little hole in our hearts for a while, and I certainly, I love the way that they all went out. I mean, unfortunately, DeLuca died, but he died a hero, and he died, having left such an impression, and Jackson and Greg. Oh my God, why am I blanking on Greg's character's name? Woo, tired. Um, but they're going off to do bigger and better things, which is what they'll do in life too. So it's sad to see them go, but can't be mad. You can't be mad either way, It all sail off into the sunset sometime.
I totally agree, though. Every storyline, like, it was wrapped up so perfectly. It truly was. But as, a star on the show, when did you know? I know sometimes with Grey's Anatomy, you guys don't even know until you get that script, like, a couple days before. Was it the kind of similar with, these departures?
Well, in Giacomo's case, because we had to, or the case of DeLuca rather, that was a secret that we had to keep for a very long time. Like that, we shot that in the fall, and that didn't air until March. And so, by the time we shot it, obviously anybody who was there, anybody in the crew or anybody involved in those scenes knew what was happening, but we had gotten a dummy script for the table read that was not that. Yes, that they were, they had to keep that secret locked down for months before it aired. So yeah, it came as a surprise to some of us when that happened. I mean, not when it aired. I think by March everybody knew like Giacomo wasn't going to work anymore. So like we knew by then. But we knew about Jesse a little bit earlier, and then Greg not until the table read. It was all, sometimes the story just goes where it goes, and the writers don't even necessarily know how these characters will make their exit. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock. They were all shocking, even if you had a small inkling that they were coming.
They were all shocking. And then you also had the guest appearances from former castmates that were just as shocking. I mean, when Derek showed up on the beach in that like first or second episode, my jaw was to the floor. But for you,
mine too. I didn't know. I had no idea. I did not know that he was in the episode. I was like, I actually found out on Twitter because I was on the West Coast, and I wasn't watching the East Coast airing. And so I saw on Twitter, I was like, oh, he's in this episode. Like I'd heard some whisperings about him maybe coming back at some point in the season. I had no idea that it was a season premiere.
That is crazy, because I was going to ask, like, what was the most shocking? There was a lot of shocking things that happened this season, but what was the most shocking for you?
I have to say, I didn't know about the majority. So, Derek, George, Lexi. I didn't know about any of those. And I found out all of them on Twitter. I was like, hold up, who's on tonight? Because in the script, it was written as a different character so that we didn't know who was in those scenes with Meredith. Yeah, they were very crafty. They're very, very crafty.
That's so surprising, because you would think you would know before the episode aired, but I guess because it was a completely different scene that you weren't a part of.
Yeah, and they did a really good job of like encouraging everybody to keep it's more fun when it's a secret, right? So everybody who was involved, I'm sure if I had done some snooping around, I could have found out, but I want to be surprised too.
So I need to know your reaction. Season 18, it was picked up. A lot of people really did think that season 17 was going to be the end of Grey's Anatomy. So were you surprised when ABC picked up another season?
I was pleasantly surprised. I feel like season 17, especially with all of the visits from the past, the blasts from the past, if you will, the visits to Meredith on the beach. I was like, wait a minute, is this the end? I mean, and so and it seemed like, on the one hand, like kind of a lovely way to go out with all of these, with all of these return guest stars. But on the other hand, I was like, wait a minute, we have so much to wrap up, and wouldn't it be wonderful for the fans to be able to, for us all to know that the end was near, so we could have a proper celebration of the show, all together, rather than like the shock, experiencing the shock altogether. So I was really excited. I'm excited for the show to come back and do some more. I think we have more story to tell.
Do you know anything about season 18? My last question, what can we expect? Do you know anything? Do you know when you guys start filming? Anything?
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about next season. Listen, to be totally honest, like, we went on hiatus, and that's for me a time to really like take a break and decompress for a little while, at least, before, we start thinking again about next season. And I know that the writers are probably cooking some things up, but for right now, it's like we're just gonna enjoy having wrapped up this season. We all made it through a really challenging time. We actually managed to deliver this show, I think, some really quality entertainment for a whole season. So I think we're just in celebration mode right now.